That was beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Welcome to
The Two Fly Girls podcast. Episode number 5.
5.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I counted correctly. Yes. No, welcome back. Good to see you again, doll.
Thank you.
How is fight camp treating you?
It's been great.
We're 2 weeks in, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I've just been cruising, like just slowly inching into it.
Yes.
Not going too hard, too fast.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at you, Chelsea.
The mum is coming out.
Yeah, just slowly ramping it up. I think next week I'm going to feel it. I've actually got to rush out of here and go. I've got pad work with my coach, and then I got sparring straight after.
Oh,
I know
shit.
how we spoke about.
Why are you doing this now?
I know, but there is a theory to my madness.
Yeah.
No, there isn't really. No, it's just I'm easing into it. So I'm really only going with like some of the amateur boys in the boxing team, but the little guys that are really new.
Yeah.
So I'm just working on my jab and getting
sweet.
my eye in.
You're beating up the newbies.
No, I'm not beating them up. I'm being nice.
I know exactly
promise.
what you're doing.
I promise.
I like to do it sometimes too.
So
okay, you go.
So it doesn't matter if I'm tired because I don't really get hit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Oh, okay. No, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fair. And plus, I feel like coming off pads, you'll be warm. Like your nervous system will be like,
yeah, and
I'm
I'll
ready
be
to
on
go.
and my eye will be on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I get like real blinky. When I haven't sparred in a while, I get like real.
Yeah, flinchy.
What the fuck was
Yeah,
that? Yeah,
I do. I actually do too. I'm like, my eyes can't stop blinking. Because I've actually thought about when you go into just sparring sessions fresh. Obviously, you do warm ups and stuff, but I always am in limbo between doing a bit before, so I'm warm.
Yeah.
And not doing too much.
Not exerting too much
yeah,
energy.
But sometimes when I go in real fresh, I'm flinchy.
Yeah.
Real reactive, and it just takes me like 3 rounds to get going.
Yeah. I think it was last fight camp, I was actually doing pad work with either Adrian or Freddie, like you do before a fight, because you always warm up backstage with pad work, right? And
that's
then
what I'm thinking.
we do hand drills.
Yeah.
And then Freddie does this thing where he does like this on my face. It's like a sensory kind of wake up thing, and it gets my body and my eyes and my brain all in sync. So we were doing that before sparring, and I felt like the difference. It was like I was like, that was my fight, my ritual.
Yeah.
And now I was on, even though it was sparring, I wasn't fighting.
Yeah.
I was sharp and I was switched on, and I got into like my jam, I guess.
That's really cool.
My fight flow.
My sports psych, who I've been working with, says exactly that. He says you should work out what your pre-fight ritual would be or is, and then every sparring session when you're in a fight camp, you do that beforehand. So then it's nothing. There's nothing new. There's no like, oh, I don't usually do this, and then you're kind of put off.
And then your body knows what it's getting ready for.
Exactly.
It's like, yep, I've been here. I've done this a million times.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I know this means work.
Yes.
Not sleep.
Yeah. Not nice.
Not good, not nice.
I love that. So 2 weeks in, coming up to week 3, do you have much weight to cut, or are you sweet? I feel like you've already shredded.
I've lost 2 kilos.
Yeah, you look good.
But thank you. But that's not really a feat, because I got really heavy. This is the heaviest I've been.
Really?
Since fighting.
Really?
Yeah. So
what would you, if you want to share, what would you usually walk around at?
So normally when I get like
what's your weight?
Fat girl Beck. Fat
Amy?
Out of fight camp. Fat Amy. Fat girl Beck. Normally I get up to 65 and I'm like, oh, I'm a fatty. I need to...
Bro, I walk around at 66.
I know, but I'm normally like, I don't normally walk around at 65, but your muscle, I'm like, I've got fat on me.
Yeah, I've got fat too.
I'm chubbed.
I'm a bit chunky at the moment.
I got the back fat.
Yeah.
And then I've noticed like the little
I don't mean as in
You're like, I get it. But like, so 65's normally like,
heavy for you.
Heavy, yeah. I'm like, okay, I got to reel it in. Well, I hadn't been on the scale because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
I'm not weighing myself at the moment.
Fighting. I don't need to stand on that thing. Go away.
Yeah.
So I got up to 67.
Okay.
But that's big for me because I'm not muscle. Like I don't have a lot of muscle. Like I'm kind of like a string bean.
You do have muscle, but I
not
to
lean
be fair,
muscle.
We're so similar as in like our weight, because when I hit 67, I haven't weighed myself, but I could probably be that right now.
Yeah, okay.
I go like shit, red flag.
Yeah, that was my red flag.
67 is like, that is my top.
Yeah, well, see, you're making me feel better now because
Yeah.
I would think that you would be 64 max.
No.
With the weight, because you're so lean. You're like, you still have like your definition in your arms, your shoulders, you still have abs. Like, I never get that.
I don't have abs, but I feel like I've got real heavy legs too.
Yeah.
Like when I'm not training, like in fight camp, like right now my legs are huge.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like an insecurity because all my fluid goes to my legs, and then I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, my comfortable out of camp weight is 65. I'm shredded at 64.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm already shredded.
Yeah.
Which is weird as fuck because I walk into fight week at 62.
Yeah.
What do you go in at?
I try to get down to 60.
Okay. And then you cut
three in weight. But I used to, like, when I was in the UFC, I was cutting big weight.
Yeah, okay.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
And it was so bad for me.
Yeah.
But like 61, 60, I'm happy with.
Yeah.
My last fight was a lot lighter. I think it was 55 kilos I think I had to make in the end.
Oh, yeah. You got to be lighter
it was a
for
catch
that.
weight. So, yeah, I come down a lot lighter just to be able to not have to cut as much weight as well.
But that's also what happens, and people could probably vouch for this, girls. When you do bigger cuts, you then blow out bigger. So like every time I've like done big cuts that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then I relax, I just literally blow up like a balloon.
Yeah. And that's what I've been noticing. Like, it's not only the back fat, it's like the face. Like, I got a big fat face. I got a round face. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, it's all gone to my face.
My face is the same. Like, it's crazy how your face changes.
Yeah.
Like, when we're cutting weight, it's like skeletal.
We're like models.
Literally.
Models.
But borderline sick. Like, you kind of look a bit sick. And then, I'm the same because Jake has always mentioned it. He's like, when you're starting to cut weight because your face just gets real small.
Yeah.
And then when I'm not, like now it's like actually full.
Full and
I'm
happy.
like, I've had Botox.
It's full of carbs.
It's full of chips and rice.
So, no, it's good. Like, I've, dropped 2 kilos, which is good for me because I was kind of freaking out a little bit too because I'm like, I've never been that heavy in fight when I'm like had a fight booked in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh no, what if I've like my body's gotten comfortable and I've probably might have put on muscle just because I've been doing more weights and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
But it's good. I think that initial drop has happened fast. It's like 2 kilos, get it off, and then now
it was
it's
bitch, stop eating ice cream.
It was the bender. It was literally the 4-day bender.
It was the margaritas.
Yeah.
But I want to blame it on the ice cream because I love margaritas.
Yeah, but I reckon you just lost 2 kilos from your bender. So we'll keep it at that. So today we have a very, very personal topic. Very, like this is probably a lot of people might not know this about you. So those that don't know, Beck is not only a world champion in bare knuckle, a UFC fighter, all of these amazing things, but like one of the most important things is she's a survivor of domestic violence. And I think you carry that with such just class and, I know that you want to be a positive influence on those that are obviously in the same position that you have been in, and to sort of guide them and help them out of it, even if it's like your experiences, signs that you sort of were picking up on over time, all of that sort of stuff. And I think like bringing it to the podcast can be super beneficial for any woman out there that's listening and they're sort of silently struggling with it.
Yeah, I think because predominantly our audience is female.
Yeah.
And just looking at statistics, like even just people that I have met, associated within the gym, within just friends of friends, there is not one girl that has not experienced some form of domestic violence or sexual assault.
That's wild.
And that's crazy.
That is actually wild.
That is, and it's ridiculous that it's gotten so out of control.
So out of control.
Yeah. And it's scary and it's sad to think that this is, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And so these young girls that are growing up, anyone that has kids out there that are, teenagers, whatnot, that one day they're going to be a victim of one of these two things. So
it's a really scary statistic that it's growing rapidly and the consequences aren't there to match it, and that's the biggest problem.
No.
So you have a documentary on Netflix called Fight to Live.
Yes.
So anyone that hasn't watched it, I highly recommend you watch it because you will cry. Like I bawled. Like I actually bawled. I know you, but I obviously didn't know you to the depth of that doco. So I felt like I just have this huge admiration for you and everything you've been through. And I just think how you have come out of that and who you are today and your husband Adrian and your beautiful kids, like it's just a testament to obviously the work that you had to do in that time of your life to become the woman you are now.
Yeah, there was a lot of work, and I'm still working on myself. You know, I still struggle daily. It's not like I always say there's light at the end of the tunnel, but that tunnel kind of sometimes moves and gets bigger.
Yeah.
So it is a constant work. You know, something that's so traumatic. Anyone that goes through anything traumatic, you'll know that you'll feel good one day, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that triggers me.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'm working on it daily. But I'm good now. Like I know I'm safe. I know I've made it out of the end of the tunnel, and my family is safe, and that's the most important thing. But I hate where people just like, oh, it's once you leave, it's all good. It's not. There are a lot of scars that are left.
Yeah.
And they can come back and bite you in the butt anytime. So,
of course. And like you said, triggers. Like you are constant, like in your day-to-day life.
Yes.
You might have things that just instantly trigger you.
Yeah, and they're just little things. Like even so, like Ensign, my youngest son, he's got this thing where he just pretends to spit like that, like, you know, that. And that triggers me.
Yeah.
Because my ex used to spit on me, and I'm like, I get really mad, and I'm like, can you please not? And he's like, but why? I'm not actually spitting, and I'm not doing it towards you. I'm like, that noise is triggering me, mate, and this is why, and I have to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
And it's just little things that you're like, well, that shouldn't trigger me, because I know no one's spitting on me. I know there's no malice in it, but it does.
That's something you will never forget, though.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, it's like the doco, like you said, is very emotional.
I literally couldn't stop crying.
It's very raw. I didn't hide or hold anything back because I felt like it was important to speak about these things, because a lot of people try to sugarcoat the topic, or they don't want to shock the audience too much with the nitty-gritty and the brutal parts of it. And I felt it was important that I needed to talk about that, because that's what I think is what's going to help people the most.
Absolutely.
And give people the courage themselves to leave if they are in that certain situation, or even relate to it, like, oh, it wasn't just me. You know, like those horrible things can happen to someone that's a fighter.
Yeah.
Like I fight people for a living.
Yeah.
I'm not really scared of anyone, and somehow I found myself in a relationship where I allowed someone to beat the crap out of me, demoralize me, torture my kids, and I felt helpless, even though I'm a strong woman that knows how to fight, knows what my self-worth is now. But back then, he was still able to manipulate me into thinking I deserved it, or that I could prevent him from doing it. It was something that I was doing to him to make him hurt me. And I think that's a really, really strong message, because I know a lot of people wonder why. Like, oh, why didn't you just leave? Why would you put up with that? I don't, like, you know that's wrong.
Yeah.
Why would you stay? And not enough people talk about the emotional manipulation, the type that makes you think you're crazy, the gaslighting.
And then you start to look at yourself like, I am the problem.
Correct, because they tell you over and over, and then you try to justify it like, well, if he loves me, why would he do that to me other than I'm doing something to make him want to hurt me?
Yeah.
Because you just question yourself, and you question your sanity. Like, am I going crazy? Am I making this up in my head? Have I done something to him and I can't remember doing it? And that's the mental side of domestic violence that a lot of people don't understand or don't talk about and be educated on that topic of domestic violence. Everyone just thinks about the physical abuse and not the mental that leads up to it or goes in tune with it.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Like, obviously I'm learning as you're speaking about it, and it just obviously it makes me angry, it makes me sad, knowing someone that I'm close to that has gone through such a traumatic thing. The doco, how did that come about, and were you 100% comfortable with sharing it on a platform like Netflix?
I was actually really happy when Netflix took it because I knew that meant a lot of eyeballs were going to see it. A lot of people were going to see it.
Yeah.
It came about, I met Tom Haramis, who was the producer, actually just through a sponsor. He was the videographer for my Muscle Meals, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Muscle Meals Direct.
Yeah.
And he came out and did like an ad with me, and he'd already done, he's done a Mark Hunt documentary as well.
Yeah.
A while ago. He's a great producer, and he was like, look back, I think we need to do a doco on your story, because I'd been so vocal on social media.
Yes.
Especially when I first fled, and my ex, was still really big in the MMA scene.
Yeah.
He was having his own promotion. All these fighters and gyms were still associating with him because they wanted an opportunity on his promotion. So that's when I got a bee in my bonnet, and I was like, how dare any of you guys, still associate and support with this piece of shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but it's, it's an opportunity I can't pass up. And that really, really aggravated me, because you're choosing a fleeting, opportunity to fight on a promotion over, your morals.
100%.
And you're basically telling him you're allowing it.
Yeah.
It's okay that he did that
He's
to me.
not seeing any consequences to his actions. He's like, everyone still wants to fight on my show. I'm still the man. I'm still this fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
His identity hadn't changed.
No, nothing had changed for him. And so then I got isolated from the MMA community because everyone's like, fuck you, bitch. Who are you to tell me what to do? Because I went at him. I went straight for like cutthroat. I was like, you're a piece of shit if you associate with him. And obviously people don't like that. So I was very, very vocal about my experience. And so that's when, Tom was like, your story needs to get out there.
Absolutely.
We need to tell your story because not only what you've been able to get past it and achieve in your career, but your courage to share your story as well and not hold back.
Yeah.
But I was very scared. I was scared because I didn't know how my kids would take it.
Yes.
Especially my youngest Ensign, because he was really young when it happened. Zake was a little bit older, and he knew what had happened, but not the real extent. Whereas Ensign didn't really understand, and I knew. So I think by the time it was released, I think it was 2 years ago. I think now, he's in high school. So,
and he's going to watch all of that. For the
and
first time.
that's his biological father, and his whole life story basically on Netflix for kids in high school to poke and prod and tease and things like that. So I was very hesitant on that aspect because I knew
you're torn, right? Because on one side you need to make it known and you want there to be eyeballs on it, and the other side is you want to still protect your kids.
Yeah, and I didn't want to just like air their dirty laundry, even though it's not their dirty laundry, but they're still associated with it.
Yeah.
And open up avenues for kids to be jerks, because kids can be jerks. So I was torn, but ultimately I knew it was the right thing to do is to put it out there and help others in that turn. And I realized, kids are going to be jerks regardless. Like, I'm in the limelight anyway. Kids talk about me to them all the time anyway. And so if any kid thinks that this is like an avenue to bully my kid because his biological father's a piece of shit, it's like,
I'll show up at school
pretty
that
much
next morning, and you can get in my car and literally.
I'll have a little word with your mum.
Yeah, because that's so true, and I can see how you were so worried about that side of things, because schools are just shit.
Kids are just shit.
Kids are shit. But I do think the doco came across in a really good way. I don't see how. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, really, there should be nothing from kids or parents or anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, as much as you showed and you were so raw and open about what you'd gone through, there was a beautiful ending. Like, I was crying, but I was also, like, so happy at the same time. And something that I didn't know that I learned in the doco was that Adrian was actually training at your gym.
Yeah.
While all of this was going on. Yeah. That, I remember being like, I was like to Jake, oh my God, did you know that? And Jake's like, no. I was like, he was there all along.
Yeah.
That's even more special.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So when we first fled, my mum had a home, like an apartment in Redcliffe, because she's from Tasmania. Her and her husband used to come up and escape winter.
Right.
And so she had an apartment in Redcliffe, but my gym was in Capalaba, which is probably about an hour drive from there. And I was poor.
Yeah.
So when I first fled, I stayed with my mum for a few weeks because she was in town, and then I needed somewhere to stay closer to the gym. And so me and my kids moved in with Adrian and his parents.
That was so beautiful. Like, when I heard that, I was like, this is a full, like, 360 moment. Like, full circle moment.
Yeah, and so, like, Adrian's parents, which is now Nan and Pop,
Yes.
have known Ensign since he was 8 months old. Like, they've known
That's
both
beautiful.
of them since they were babies. So they've already had this relationship. And so, me and Adrian were just friends then. Like, we lived in a separate room. We were obviously training partners, going to the gym back and forth and whatnot, but completely two different lives.
How long ago was this, just to get a timeline?
2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before UFC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just before, actually. 2000. Yeah, I had one fight with Invicta, I believe, after I divorced him. But yeah, and I moved out of Adrian's parents' house until I could get on my feet and find a new home. I was living with them. So, I mean, Adrian were only, like, all friends, like, really good friends for years.
Yeah.
And just, you know, years and years on, like, I'd had boyfriends in between, he'd had girlfriends between.
That's wild.
Yeah, but everyone said he always loved me. He always had a little, and I was just so oblivious to it, you know, like, I was going through so much, and I was very traumatized and
that's the last thing you were thinking about.
And even when Adrian was showing interest, I was still very broken.
You would have been guarded.
That poor guy had to, you know, climb over this 50-foot friendship fence.
Yeah.
With barbed wire and electric fence that he had to get zapped through. The poor man.
That's amazing though, because, like, I think because he was there and he saw all of this going on, and he would see you at the gym. I know in the doco you spoke, you would come into the gym with bruises and black eyes, and he would see that and he knew something was up. I feel like because he was there and, like, was watching you go through all of that, it didn't matter how big the wall was. He was going to get over it.
Yeah, he was committed.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so, like, and I think it helps that we were really good friends beforehand too. It was like he was someone that I trusted, and I trusted with my kids.
Yeah,
and that was a big thing.
Huge.
Yeah, because I was so closed off, and I, you know, promised myself I'd never let another person come into my family and destroy us from within.
Yes.
And so, even though I had a big wall up, I still trusted this guy, and and then eventually I proposed to him.
Did you really?
Yes, because I never wanted to get married again, because I felt like obviously marriage didn't fix the problem that I had.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, is how I kind of got so deep in that relationship, is I felt like marrying this man Dan, my ex,
fix everything.
Would stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, would stop him from bashing me, basically. I would show him how much I love him. And so from then onwards, I hated the thought of marriage, and I felt like
Which is so fair.
Yeah. And I didn't think I needed a piece of paper to prove how much I loved him and how much he loved me. And then somewhere along the line, it just changed. And I'm like, you know what?
What changed?
I don't know. I don't think I need to have a piece of paper to prove how much I love him. But I just wanted to share our love with our people and have a huge party.
Yeah. It's all about party.
Yeah, in which we did. We had a big party.
I love that.
And I knew he would never propose to me because I was always so against it.
And he would never try and force it on you.
Exactly. So then I was like, I'm going to have to propose to this man.
Was he fully shocked?
Oh, he cried. He's a big emotional baby. He's the emotional one.
Is he?
Yeah.
Actually, Jake is too. Actually, that's a funny, like, I think we should get both of them in for a podcast, because a few people have actually sent in that they want our partners in a podcast.
Yeah.
Just to see, obviously, how they live with us, all of that stuff. But it's funny you say that, because Jake is, like, the emotionally intelligent, sensitive one. Like, I feel like, but that's also a part, because of what we do as a sport, we are quite
Yeah, it's the yin and the yang,
like,
isn't it?
it's fine. We don't really need to talk about
cold.
Yeah.
Feelings, what are they?
Yeah, literally. No, that's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah. So, yeah, lived happily ever after.
Yeah. Going back to, I know we skipped a few stages there, but going back to obviously your first marriage, your ex, you were both fighters at the time. For you, how old were you when you started dating?
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was how old?
He was, I think, 3 years older than me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like, was there any, like, early on, were there any signs to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You were just not seeing them?
Well, at the start, so he was in a kind of coach's role. But he was very cold and shut off to me, and that was like intriguing to me because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy's attention and get his kind of not love, but like he was a coach, so I wanted him to think I was good. I was committed to the sport and whatnot. But when we started dating, the red flags that I could see now, but I had been through so many like shit relationships.
Yeah.
My self-esteem was already to the shit.
Yeah.
And so he just preyed on that. And so like one of the first things was he would just ghost me out of nowhere for no reason. Like I could not get a hold of this guy. Like we were dating, talking every day. I'd see him every day and he would just disappear. And would not respond to me to the point where I was like, what have I done? I must have done something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't rack my brain to think like what I'd done because we weren't really that deep in a relationship yet. It's like we hadn't had a fight or anything. He just completely ghosted me. And that was basically just to make me think I was going crazy and I was doing something. I wanted, his acceptance basically. And then I would finally get a hold of him and he would act like nothing happened.
How long would he ghost you for?
Like 3-4 days, just gone. Yeah, no response, nothing. And then he would act like nothing happened. And then if I would push, he would go, oh, I saw something on your Facebook or on your MySpace, which is really old.
MSN.
Did you have a MySpace?
I had MSN.
Yeah, so that I didn't like. Like he would always bring back my past because I was a little bit of a hood rat. Like I didn't have the greatest upbringing. And, I used to break laws and things like that, get up to hood rat shit with my friends. So he would bring that back. Like, this is why I don't really like who you were. And he would just plant that. Which
was sort of messing with your head, right? Because you're like, okay, you're now trying so hard to not be that.
Yeah.
So you're like trying to please him.
Exactly.
And be this like overdo it in a sense.
Yeah.
Because he kept bringing up your past.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the biggest red flag that if I was to now see it, I'd be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Like this isn't right.
Yeah.
But I didn't love myself and I was trying to better my life, change my life. That's why I got into the gym and try to, get on the straight and narrow with my life and be better for my kid, Zake at the time. So everything he was saying was like, yeah, I was a piece of shit. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I'll try harder,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any, like when you look back at that period, was there any good times?
Yes. So he love bombed me. He was.
Yeah, okay.
It was
either really, really good or really bad.
Yeah. So how we basically got together was because I'd just broken up with Zake's dad, who was in and out of jail. He was just not on the straight and narrow, I guess. And so we had a very toxic relationship. Just teenagers. Like we were together since we were 16, on and off, So it was a toxic relationship, and so he was like, "You deserve better." Dan's like, "You deserve to be treated like a princess," And
you were like, "Yes, I fucking do.
I do.
Like, take me."
And are you going to be my knight in shining armor?
Yeah.
And so that's how he got me on the hook.
Plus, he was a fighter.
And he was a fighter.
You were both into the same things. You were both at the gym together.
Yeah, and he didn't drink. He didn't go out. He just trained. He just coached people.
So on the outside, looking in,
Yeah, he was
he
great.
was perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
He had his head screwed on. He had a goal.
Yes.
He had interest in the same sport that I was interested in. He wasn't, in the scene. So in Launceston, where I grew up, there is like a scene where some people, you're either like a goody two-shoes or you're a criminal, basically.
Yeah.
And I was amongst the criminals.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't involved in any of those scenes at all. He was just in the gym. So I was like, he looked perfect.
I need to be around this person.
Correct.
He's going to be a good influence for me.
Yeah, and he told me he was going to be that. He was, going to be my knight in shining armour. And then...
That honestly just makes it even more fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a piece of work. He's an absolute sociopath. Yeah, piece of shit.
Yeah. That's just wild. So... Do you, during that time coming out of it, obviously moving in with Adrian and his family, what did you learn about yourself in that time? Like, what did you get help? Like, did you see a psychologist? Did you do anything, or did you do it all on your own?
A lot of my help was my coaches and my training partners, my family. And at that point I was very closed off to, like, I just was so focused on getting my life back on track, getting into a house with my kids, and then obviously fighting for a living. So I was just
prioritizing
completely like tunnel vision. That's all. And no relationships. Didn't need a relationship. So I didn't really feel like I didn't know that I needed help, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I was still very much in my survival mode.
For sure.
I had security cameras all around my house and I wouldn't even sleep. I was just watching these security cameras because he always, promised to come back, kill us and kill himself, because that's what he would do. So I would be watching these cameras to make sure that, there's no one coming to my house to kill me and my kids. And it wasn't, it wasn't until I started traveling over to San Diego to train, and I was in the UFC, and there was a lot of media, and some of the media questions would be asked about my being vocal against, about domestic violence. And I said to my coach at that point in time, I'm like, that's my past. I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
I want to look at the future.
I'm starting a new chapter here.
Yeah. And my coach was like, he said the biggest way is like, just because it happened to you doesn't mean it defines you. And I'm like, that has stuck with me since then. That's so true. And it's crazy that, at that stage I didn't want to talk about it. Like, I just didn't want my career to be derailed by, or not derailed, but focused on something that this piece of shit did to me.
100%.
And that be my story. I didn't want that sob story, that everyone, you have to have a sob story.
You want your own story.
Yeah.
You want to create your own story.
Correct. Yeah. So.
And you don't want any memory, nothing of him.
No. And I was trying to erase it. Like, that he was erased and everything about it was erased. And still even now, like, you ask me questions like, how old was he? I should know these things, but I don't, because I've just completely...
That's fucking good.
Yeah, completely compartmentalised and blocked it out. Mm-hmm. So at that point in time, I didn't really want to talk about it, didn't want that to be my story or define me. Yeah. And it got to a point where, obviously, I've realised that sharing my story, as much as it was very painful for me, traumatic for me to have to go back to those experiences, because... In the doco, there is certain scenes where I'm sitting there talking about the stuff that he did to me, and that day alone was so horrible to go through, because I was having to sit there and picture it and talk about it and every detail, because my producer was like, I was comfortable with him, but he's like, I'm going to ask you, details about things. Yeah. And that was a really tough day, but I knew it was for the greater good. I knew that someone would watch this one day.
You're going to help a lot of people.
Yeah. And my end goal for the doco was never, like, I'm glad that it was on Netflix, that it's gone on to Netflix, but my end goal is for it to be shown in high schools, where I think it would have the biggest impact.
Absolutely.
Because I think if I'd seen something like that in high school, I don't think I would have wound up in that relationship. I think it could have changed my path.
Because you would have been hyper aware.
I would have been aware.
You would have seen the signs. Yep. Mm-hmm. You would have, done what you needed to do to get out of the situation, which you did.
Yes.
But
I enjoyed a lot before you did that. And I made it out where a lot of women don't. No. A lot of kids and a lot of women do not make it out. Mm-hmm. And I could have been one of those statistics.
Yeah. That's really powerful. I think if that was played in high schools and even you going and talking about it, and that would just be a huge movement that I think it should be compulsory, really.
Yeah. We're talking about we have to PG it, I guess, because the fight scenes at the end, which is my favourite, mind you, because I love it because it's like you said, it's very emotional and sad, but it's powerful. And it shows at the end, like me and my family made it out, and you know, I became world champion, and I succeeded in a lot of things in my sport, even though he told me I would never. And so like that was the message is, you know, I got knocked down, but I got the fuck back up, and I excelled.
Exactly. And that needs to stay there. It needs to be shown.
Yeah. And so we need to find a way to edit it so it can be shown, but it's still PG for high schools because violence, even though it's a sport, it's still a violent sport. And there's blood clots coming out of one of the girls' noses and getting sprayed around. Yeah. It's pretty gory. It's great though. I love it.
That's what we like.
Yeah. So,
no, that would be unreal if you could do that.
Yeah.
So, time frame wise, when you got signed to the UFC, how long between you leaving, taking the kids, packing up, getting out of that situation, and you getting signed to the UFC? Was it the same year? No.
Oh.
2014.
Yeah, it would have been a year. It would have been a year.
That's not long.
No.
How, like, when you look back, were you emotionally ready to do that? Like, that's fucking huge.
That's why the Ultimate Fighter, when I was put into this house with 16 other girls, locked up for 8 weeks, told what I could and couldn't do, it was very traumatizing for me because I was like, I didn't think of that's what, you know, was going to come up. Like, I felt trapped. I felt trapped. I felt controlled again. I felt, you know, all these feelings along with being stuck in a house of girls that I was fighting, which isn't the greatest place to be. But then, add that trauma and that what I was going through at that time. It was, I was not, looking back, I probably wouldn't have gone on the Ultimate Fighter, especially because I saw that other girls just made it straight to the UFC. Like while we're in the house, they signed Paige Van Zandt, JJ, all these other girls that just they got to fight while we were stuck in their house. So I didn't need to do it. So in hindsight, I wouldn't go back to the Ultimate Fighter and go in there because it was very traumatic for me. Yeah.
But I guess at the time you being in the gym and trying to literally block everything that's happened to you out in that time of your life, getting an opportunity like the Ultimate Fighter, you're not going to say no.
No, hell no.
Like, obviously, looking back, we can all be like, you look at things in your life and you go, I wouldn't do that again, shouldn't do that.
Correct.
But at the time, it's like, what would you have done if you didn't? Almost, you know? And what if you didn't get to get a fight in the UFC in that year? But at the end of the day, it only made you who you are now. Yeah. All of the experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm obviously a lot more emotionally intelligent, and I finally found my self-worth. That's what my doco really circles around is how to prevent it. Obviously, I think there's a lot of intervention that needs to happen with men. It shouldn't always be on the women on how to recognise the red flags and how to not find yourself in those situations. Obviously, that's in a perfect world that these guys are going to address their mental health issues and be better. Yes. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. So we obviously have to talk about girls recognising red flags and being more emotionally intelligent. But ultimately I've got so deep and allowed so much because I didn't love myself enough to want more, to want better for myself. He did a great job of manipulating me into thinking I deserved it, but deep down in my soul, I thought I deserved it because I was not a good person. I thought I was a shit person and that I deserved to be treated this way. So the doco really circles around self-worth and self-love and wanting more for yourself and, striving for your goals and your dreams and knowing that you deserve more and wanting more for yourself and not settling for any less.
Yeah. I want to cry again. I literally want to cry again. it's just so powerful. Like, I'm literally sitting here in awe. I'm a little bit speechless. That's why I haven't really been talking, because, like, those that are listening, everyone needs to watch that doco, Fight to Live, on Netflix, because it's just everything you just said. It's so powerful. It's so eye-opening for someone like me.
Yeah.
And just so much more awareness about that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that it's also, like, brings attention to is that I always say domestic violence doesn't discriminate, because a lot of people see victims as women that is weak, small, weak, poor, like in a certain demographic. And, like, I'm a prime example of someone that was I've always been strong and opinionated and a strong personality, and I still managed to be in that situation, and I knew how to fight. Obviously, he was a fighter, but even if he wasn't a fighter, he was still a big man, and I knew what I had to do to get out. And eventually I gave up fighting. I just let him. Just so it would stop. And that's the real mental toll that domestic violence can have on someone. They will mentally break you. Don't even worry about the physical. It's the mental side of it. And it can happen to anyone. It can happen to CEOs of companies. It can happen to, politicians. It can happen to anyone. It doesn't discriminate. And I think that's a really important message to get out there, so people change their perspective on domestic violence victims. And on it as a whole as well.
That's a big point. I think that's a great point to finish that topic on. But I just want to say thank you for being so vulnerable and having the conversation. Like, I feel like I have learnt a whole nother layer of you. And you're just a fucking weapon.
Thank you.
You're just so strong in so many different ways. Like, emotionally, like, I don't know, I am speechless. I'm literally in awe. And
I've got good news though. Also, it's to do with domestic violence. I've just come on board as an ambassador for Friends with Dignity.
Amazing.
They're a really cool charity, and their core program is called Sanctuary, and what they do is they find housing and they furnish these houses, set these houses up so displaced families can move into them. They don't have to worry about, washing, laundering detergent, toothpaste. They have furniture. So it's for something. So if I didn't have my mum and her apartment to flee to, or Adrian and his family, I would have had a house that I could have gone access to, and it was my house. So it's not a shelter.
Yes.
I know, like, shelters are much needed, but a lot of families, like me, myself, I probably wouldn't have went to a shelter.
Yes.
I would have tried to find more family and friends to go to.
Yes.
Just because I didn't want to take my kids to a shelter.
Yeah.
So this Friends with Dignity are actually getting housing, putting together people's own houses.
Oh my God, that is incredible.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to be working with them, and I'll be going down to their warehouse on Tuesdays and help pack up all, the care packages for these houses.
Oh my God.
And actually giving back to people that need it, and I'm really happy about that. So
Beck, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. We'll definitely put the link.
Yes.
So people can follow along and donate. And that is huge. That's such great news. Because you're so right. That's why a lot of people stay. A lot of women and kids stay because they've got nowhere to go, and they need their own space.
You do.
And also somewhere to go that is not known, like they can't
somewhere
be followed.
That you feel safe.
Yes, you feel safe. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
What great news. Yes. Before we finish, we do have a little bit of a Q&A going on. So let's answer some questions.
Yep.
So I did put a Instagram post out just asking our followers what their struggles are being a female in combat sports.
Yep.
So a very broad question, but I did want to put it out because obviously a broad question means we can get so many different answers. So let's start with, we'll do a couple of them because they might be long on our behalf. Someone said as a struggle, the ongoing pressure of when I'm going to have children and keep my period regular.
Oh. Do you have a regular period?
I actually do.
Me too. I've never struggled with that.
I've never struggled with it. I think maybe I've been delayed a month like twice in my life.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm very regular.
Yeah.
And you're the same.
Yeah, I think I know some girls that have really, really low body fat.
Yeah.
Struggled. So on the Ultimate Fighter, some of the girls on there, they was very irregular, but they were very, very lean.
Yes.
So I think fat controls a lot of your hormones. And if you have a lean diet as well, that can play a part. I know lean diets play a part on men's testosterone. Like they need fat in their diet.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming women would be the same.
Yeah, and we definitely need carbs.
Yeah.
Carbs are really important for females. So we actually can't really speak on experience because we haven't really had problems with it. But that's a great point. I think maybe diving into your diet.
Yeah, nutrition.
Working with a nutritionist might also really help. I know that in my Muay Thai career, I wasn't cutting much weight at all. I was going from like 64 to 61.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know how to cut weight and I didn't have a nutritionist, I literally thought I had to eat. I would eat like slices of ham in a fucking lettuce leaf for lunch. Like, I was stupid as fuck.
Yeah, well,
but
you
like,
don't know any different, though.
I was like 15 in my lunch break eating these like ham slices and then trying to train for 2 hours at night.
Yeah, and wondering why I have no energy.
Oh my God, I feel like a bag of dicks. But like, that was a big wake up call when I moved to MMA. I was like, oh, I actually need, because I was dropping down a division as well. I was like, no, I need to work with a nutritionist. And seriously, I know they're expensive.
Yeah.
But it will literally, if you want to take the sport seriously, it will change your life in terms of eating for energy.
Yeah.
Like, and being able to cut weight at the same time.
And maintaining your hormones.
Yeah,
your hormonal
maintaining your
balance.
hormones.
And like you do have to pay the nutritionist, but once you got it dialed in, it's not an ongoing thing.
It's not. Like I'm like 5 years in and I know I don't need to count macros to a T.
Right.
I know exactly what I need to eat. I know what I should eat before this training session to get the most out of it. It's just getting that knowledge from a nutritionist.
Learning your body and how it relates to things, how it processes different foods and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think nutrition would probably be the biggest help in regulating your period.
Yeah. And in terms of the other half of that question, when you're going to have children, we touched on this a couple of episodes ago. It's like, yeah, there's pressure, but it's like, it's your life, you know? Like,
when feels best for you, if you're focused on your career and that's what you want to focus on right here and now, then do that. But then if you get this inkling, this calling where like, no, I want to be a mum, you can take a year off and have a baby and you can come back to it and you can have kids and have a career. Yeah. There's plenty of us that do it. So women are unstoppable. Once we get our mindset on something, we are unstoppable.
This whole episode is women are unstoppable. Prime example on the top of the hill is Beck. Next question. Being with a guy who doesn't do combat sports, says he gets it but clearly doesn't. You obviously, Adrian's in combat sports. My Jake isn't, but he has trained jiu-jitsu. He could seriously fight tomorrow. He's so technically good. But I think the biggest thing about this topic is they don't have to be in it, but they do have to support you. Yes. So I think they really do have to be supportive. You have to be able to tell them about your training that day and like be able to open up on that level and have them be understanding and listen. I think it gets a little bit toxic, not toxic, but what's the word? A little bit unsettling when you don't feel like you're being understood.
Yeah. I think, like you hit the nail on the head with support. I think support is 100% most important than getting it. But like you could also involve them. Because I know all guys want to train strength and conditioning, so why wouldn't you just involve them in that maybe? And then they'll see how tired they are afterwards, and then they'll understand why you want to go to bed at 7:30, things like that. Maybe just relate on those kinds of things. Obviously, if they're not into actual combat sports, but I'm sure they'll be into running, going for a run with you, or strength and conditioning, things like that. Maybe try and relate on a different kind of thing that's still involved in your sport. But as long as they're supporting you.
I do get it, because like I find like people will always comment on how amazing Jake is. In terms of being my partner, being supportive, and always being there. And he always has the last 7 years. Like, he will come to my sparrings on a Saturday morning. He'll video what he needs to video. Like, he will go out of his way to make sure he's there if I want him there. Yeah. And I do think that's really important.
It is.
And I think if I didn't have that, I would really struggle. Yeah. And so I can see if this is something that this person is frustrated with, you definitely have to communicate about it.
Maybe you just need to, talk to him and say, look, I know you're not involved in the sport, but your support would mean a lot. Yeah. And then maybe look at how you can support them in their career and their goals also.
Yes. Yeah.
Great advice.
Next one is people thinking I go to fucking boxer size classes when I tell them I box. I just say that because she did say fucking.
I love it. Yes. I get because I go through US customs all the time, and my visa is like an athlete visa, or it's a P1, which means performer. So then they ask, and I'm like, oh, I'm a fighter, and they're like, you don't look like a fighter.
Yeah, I get that too.
I'm like, what do you want me to look like? Fucking someone off the Goonies?
Yeah, I get like, oh, you don't look like you're going to have a fight. I'm
like, oh, you're too pretty. You're too pretty to fight. It's like, no, I keep my hands up and I move my head.
Yeah, I've got good defense.
Look, people are always gonna assume that you're doing boxer size or box fit. If you're a girl doing boxing.
Just invite them.
Yeah. Oh, no, you should come to a class.
Yeah, come to a sparring session. I'll beat your fucking head off. Next one is balancing the guilt of family life and training full-time, needing to be selfish. Mm-hmm. We've also touched on that. Yeah. There's always going to be guilt.
Yes. There's guilt.
Yep, and there's no balance, unfortunately.
No, it's just something you're just going to have to make friends with, is feeling guilty. Yeah. And if it's worth it, it's worth feeling that way. Yeah. Just be kinder to yourself. Try and be a little bit nicer to yourself and just be like, well, this is why I'm sacrificing this to get here. Yes. And there will be a time to play, just not while you're still trying to, reach these goals. Yeah. So
absolutely. It really just comes down to how bad you want the goals. Yeah. And you'll do anything to get there. But also what I'm learning.
Balance?
Yeah, of course. But also like it's great to have goals, but who you become in the process of achieving what you want is the success, right? Yeah. Like the character building, the grit, all of those things. That is the process. It's not just the end goal. So I'm learning that myself. Yeah. But yeah.
And it's not your whole identity either. You are still a person, even though you have these goals and these the sport or whatnot, whatever goal you're chasing. It's not just who you are. You are many things.
Yeah, agreed. This one's a good point. Cutting weight, it's so much tougher as a female, and a lot of men just don't get it. On top of that, dealing with old school coaches who haven't done any research on proper weight cutting, they just say eat veggies and chicken, but there's so much more that goes into it for females, and that advice is so dated.
Yeah. So if you got these coaches still trying to give you this advice and it's outdated, my old coach used to say, he says, smile and wave. Like, just go, okay. Yeah. Doesn't mean you have to listen to it.
It's very true.
Just don't argue with them. Yeah. So it's like, is it happy feet or something? Smile and wave, guys.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Yeah. So you just, like, don't have to argue with them and go, well, no, because you know that they're already closed off. They don't want to hear it. They're stuck in their way. The highway. Correct. Yeah. Doesn't mean you have to take that advice. You can just smile and swallow it and then do what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. And it's hard. I know. I've been through it with old school coaches and in Muay Thai and all of that, but they aren't nutritionists. No. They really do have to stay in their lane, and you go there to train and you need to get nutritional advice from a nutritionist, especially as a female. That is what you need to do. Yeah. It's like, it's hard even to listen to a non-nutritionist male.
Yeah.
That's like a double whammy.
Or that don't have any experience with female athletes.
They haven't
also.
trained females.
Yeah. Because it's like even guys that I used to train with, there's a lot of girls like in that gym. So they know that we cut weight different. They know that like, so they're like, they learn along the way, just like I know they cut weight differently. But if they're just a male predominantly, gym, they're not going to know much. So just, take it on the chin and just do what you want. And I would seek professionals' advice, nutritionists, and there are people that offer weight cutting protocols and things like that you can listen to.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the whole sweatsuit running. And it's seriously, it drives
me mad. Boxing is still like that. And I'm like, I look at these
MMA's
guys.
not, but Muay Thai is.
Yeah, Muay Thai and boxing.
I see them running all the time in sweatsuits. I'm like, oh my God, you're literally killing yourself.
Yeah, do you like dying early?
yeah. And it's just wild because that is something I know a lot of people are still stuck in.
Yeah.
They're stuck in that cycle at whatever gym they're at. Mm-hmm. It's like, yep, this is the day you do your sweatsuit run and it's fucking 4 days before weigh-in. Yeah. And you're like, are you serious? You're literally dehydrating 4 days out.
Yeah, and it's like, it's okay if that's all you know. It's not okay, but when people, it's all they know, but it's like there's so much information out there now. Like, how have they not
You could literally get it off Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, some people are just stuck on their ways. I call them dinosaurs.
Yeah. No, fully, for sure. Last one, which is probably a great one for you to answer. Balancing training with being a mum, especially with a baby who's breastfeeding. People don't realise how much I want to be on the mats every day, but it's so hard when your baby relies on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you literally went through this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I Paul Ensign was struggling because I was breastfeeding him and dieting and, trying to lose weight.
So where the fuck is my milk, bitch?
Yeah, he was starving, this poor baby, and it took me like a few weeks to realise that he was just so hungry because I had no nutrients in my breast milk. And so, once I figured that out, obviously I realised I had to eat more and I supplemented with formula, which I would not suggest now because now I know how much crap's in formula. So breast is best.
Breast is best.
I've noticed a lot of these questions are circling around to what other people think.
Yes.
A lot. It's like what, this coach says and this men and, at the end of the day.
I honestly am bad for that.
Yeah.
If I have to say no to a session or at the moment I'm injured again and I can't train,
you're wondering
I immediately think what other people are thinking about me not being there, and I just get guilty and ugh.
I know. You just gotta shut off what other people's what is it? Everyone has opinions like assholes. Everyone has one.
It's so true.
It's so true. And sometimes their opinions aren't right and they don't matter. And I would just do what's right for you. You as a mum have these instincts to look after that baby. And obviously your mental health needs you to look after your own mental health. You still need to be you and not just your mum identity.
Yeah.
And so if you feel okay with going to the gym and doing a light session at the gym, that's okay. But if you feel like you want to stay at home and look after your baby, that is 100% okay. And stop worrying about what other people think because fuck them.
I love that. On that note, we are finishing. No, we are. That was an awesome episode. I really loved, obviously, sitting down and getting real deep with you. And, and we love answering questions because I feel like we get a gauge of what you guys are struggling with. And we obviously all go through the same things.
Yeah, relating to it. Going, it's not just me that feels that way.
Yeah. And with being a mum, that's such a massive thing that you can always give great advice on. Yeah. So any questions we have in regarding to that, we welcome them all. And if you want to know how to not have balance... I will answer all your questions.
What not to do.
I'm here. See, this is the mum and I'm the baby. The baby, what am I?
But I figured out what not to do too. I've been through your stage.
I know. That's why you're giving me all of this advice. You have been where I am now.
I'm still learning though too. I'm still learning so much.
And then in 10 years' time, I'll be where you are now.
I know. And then someone will be replacing you. You'll be replacing me. You'll have a little chickling that you have to raise and...
Oh, yeah. See how that goes. So thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure you go and watch Bec'S doco, Fight to Live on Netflix. Share, tag, tell us everything. All comments are welcome. And we hope you get it. You will absolutely get a lot out of it. And just create awareness around that topic. And also your ambassador program.
Yeah,
What's it
Friends with Dignity.
Friends with Dignity. We're going to put a little link on.
Yeah, I might just put a link in the bio or something. Yeah. They're a great charity, and they're all I can't think of the word. They're all
we need a coffee.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
So no one's paid.
That's
awesome. It is just national volunteer based charity, which is amazing. So we should
do a 2 Fly Girls Day on a Tuesday. Let's do it.
That'll be great. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Done.
We'll chuck it in the bio. Next week we will be back with a guest. We've got some really exciting guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. And also we have something exciting coming in the next few weeks, so we'll drop that soon.
I forgot about that. I was like, what's that? I was excited. I remember.
So, keep your eyes peeled, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening and watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was good.
I hope that recorded.